Welcome to the Inspiration Station hosted by Joshua Lenox, the place to fill up your tank if you're in need of encouragement and motivation.
Well, hello, everybody. Here we meet again on the Inspiration Station. It is February the 13th, 2026. I hope that you all have had a great day, a wonderful week so far. I know that you're going to be so happy to talk about what we're going to talk about today, and I can't wait to share with you. I know you all are trickling in slowly but surely, and I know sometimes y'all come in and y'all come in droves, and the numbers just shoot up so quick. So I hope that all of you have had a day that you are reminded that any challenges that have been ahead of you or in front of you, or that you're currently dealing with right now, you are able to conquer it and you're able to get through it no matter what, because you do that. We always come out on top and we're always victorious no matter what the challenges have been. And let me say something. I had some great challenges come up for me this week, and that kind of caught me off guard a little bit, knocked the wind out of me, but I kept it moving and I kept pushing. And I just remember that there's nothing that I can't conquer. There's nothing that I can't overcome. And I'm saying the same thing to you. Also, want to say much love to everybody out there on Facebook Live, YouTube Live, LinkedIn Live, Instagram Live. Also, to our wonderful and beautiful listeners on Spotify, Apple, and on Audible. Y'all, it's going to be so much fun to talk about what we're going to talk about today. It's going to be kind of like a conversation piece. You know, sometimes I just like to talk to y'all, even though I have some facts and some stats I want to give to you. As you're coming in, let me know how you guys are doing. Let me know how great you are right now. Let me know if there's anything new showing up in your life, anything exciting that's going on for you. I know one of the greatest things to be excited about is that we are alive, right? We're all living and breathing right now. So that's something to rejoice about all the time, all day, every day. So as you guys are coming in, if this is your first time, I want to let you know this will not be your last time, because you're going to be stuck like glue now. Your family, you're here, and you can't go anywhere else. And so everybody who's overseas, all the international peeps that I have, I just want to spread much love to you all. Some of you all are watching, and it's probably morning time where you are. And I just want to say I appreciate your dedication and consistency to showing up and coming in here no matter where you guys are. And I'm glad that we are united as one as we're here. And to those who will be watching later on, continue to share this. Later on or right now, continue to share out. You guys are just blowing up. And I think that YouTube is the platform that's getting the most attention, where it's continuing to increase every week. And I just want to say, to God be the glory, and just thank you guys for what you're doing, and continue to share, continue to tell people, tell it to everybody in your phone. You should be sending this link right now to everybody in your phone, in your database of any kind, in your emails, whatever it is. Send it out now. We want to share. But I just want to say that's been just amazing to see how things just continue to grow, as I'm sure everything is continuing to grow in each and every one of your lives, right? All right. Well, let's go ahead and jump in, y'all, because I know it's Friday and some of y'all about to be maybe out to eat, having your stuff ready for Valentine's Day, which is going to be tomorrow. But some of y'all might be traveling or getting ready to travel or planning something. So I want you to go on and we're going to get this in and get you on that. I promise I won't hold you long. And I'm not going to be some Baptist preacher tonight saying I'm not going to hold you long and then I'll be talking for an hour, okay? But what is the inspiration station if this is your first time? And even if this has been you've been here all the time, we always need to hear and be reminded of what the inspiration station is. The inspiration station is not just about the vessel that you're sitting before, even though that nickname was given to me, the inspiration station. Someone told me that they believe that I was like a radio station who sends out frequencies that everyone needs to hear. And somehow I would just know what people need to hear. And so this is also a place where you and I get a chance to be open, honest, and vulnerable with not just each other, but with other people and also ourselves. Y'all, I said that kind of, I said the same thing differently. Anyway, where we're open, honest, and vulnerable with each other and also with ourselves, which again, that's the relationship that is often most neglected is with ourselves. I didn't include y'all because y'all should be saying it by now by heart. Also, this is a place where we realize we're not just inspirations to other people, but we're inspirations to ourselves. And as oftentimes, most people say, well, I don't inspire myself, or how do I inspire other people? You would be surprised. Everybody doesn't have to walk up to you and tell you, hey, you inspired me. Hey, back in the day, you were really encouraging me, and your life made me want to go do greater things or better things. But just know anybody who has crossed your path has been inspired. And that could be in favorable ways and also unfavorable ways. Some things that you used to do that might not have been so good maybe inspire somebody to go in a different direction. But all of it is good no matter what. Also, this is a place where you have people who come on that will be interviewed often time to time. They're coming, y'all. So y'all been patient. They're coming. They're coming in, I promise. But people to share their wisdom, their nuggets, and their time with us, being able to give us a little something to put in our toolbox and carry us on further, a little further. Also, let me go back really quick. As the inspiration station, being an inspiration to yourself, you have so many things in your life that have occurred that you can always gravitate to and pull from your Rolodex, if you want to say, or your file cabinet of your life, and be able to say, you know what? Look at what I did. Look at what I achieved. Look at what I succeeded. Look at what I overcame. So those are things to go to, and you're indefinitely able to say, you know what, that gives me another push that I didn't know I had. And did it come from anything external? No, it came from my own life. So also, y'all, let's see, what else do I want to say before we jump into this wonderful topic that I'm pretty sure I'm just bubbling to talk about and want to debunk some stuff. But other than that, I want to say this is also just a place of where you're able to realize more about your reality of who you are and also who you're becoming. I keep harping on this thing about having an orientation with the new person that you're becoming. You can look at who you've been and realize you're taking an agreement to become who you are. And that person who you are is waiting on you all the time to come to the other side of of this new development of who you are, this new creation of who you are, this new mindset of who you are, this new person who speaks with greater confidence, who shows up in a way that they never have before, who's growing into a capacity that they've never thought that they were able to withstand. And I always say this, let me say this before we jump into today's topic. If God gives you a vision, if he gives you a dream, if he gives you a certain idea, whatever it is, he is giving you that because he knows you have the capacity to fulfill it, even when you don't think you do. Like, oh, this is big. Well, that's why, because you're not going to be able to do it on your own anyway. You're going to need his help. You're going to need his guidance. You're going to need his wisdom. You're going to need his hand over you, and because you're not going to be able to sometimes withstand or understand why you've been given something so vast, so big, and you feel so limited. And he's like, well, I got you. And also there are things in you you're not even aware of yet. Also, you don't want to get stuck thinking, I'm not prepared. I don't have this. I don't have that. Sometimes you are prepared before you go into certain things. Sometimes you're prepared in it. Sometimes you're prepared in it. So just wanted to drop that. For some reason, I was not planning to say that on tonight, but I did. For whoever needed that, I hope it landed for you and I hope it stuck like glue to you. So what I want to talk about tonight really quick, y'all, I told you I'm gonna get you in and out, but the title is called My Funny Valentine. Now, some of y'all, you probably know that song. As soon as I said My Funny Valentine, you probably, My Funny Valentine, sweet comic Valentine. Yeah, okay, but moving right along. I know tomorrow is going to be a Valentine's Day, and I'm pretty sure my viewers, all of you all and the listeners, you're probably planning some things, whether you are on your own or whether you're in a relationship or whether you're married or whether you with your friends or anyone that you love, and even as we're going to discover some other things that people do on Valentine's Day to celebrate with other types of individuals. So, first things first. What is Valentine's Day, right? Valentine's Day is defined as a day celebrated as a cultural holiday focused on love, affection, and relationship among spouses, partners, friends, families, and you know what, y'all? Even pets. I know some of y'all like, what? Valentine's Day with pets? I've seen it. I've seen the videos where people get like a little small cake or something that's edible for a dog or something or a cat, or they get them outfits or whatever. Again, that's a relationship, right? So if we're surrounding this relationship around love, affection, and love and affection, so you have love and affection for people more than just romantically. So sometimes the pets are included. I just think that that's amazing. But you know what? I don't know if some of y'all, how many of y'all know the history of Valentine's Day? Let me see any historical people or brainiacs of history. How many of you know the history of Valentine's Day and also the origin of where it comes from? If you don't know, you're about to figure out in just a minute. So, Valentine's Day actually, its origins start back with the Christian martyr named Valentine. The Christian a martyr, y'all, is of course someone dying for a religious belief or a greater cause, or somebody who's willing to sacrifice their life based on their own convictions. But Valentine, he was executed under Emperor Claudius II because he was secretly performing weddings for soldiers in Rome, and this was between about 269, 270 AD, till in the third century. So he lost his life because he was trying to let the soldiers get married, come together in matrimony in their love for each other. And he was taken out, y'all. They took him on out. That was something he wasn't supposed to be doing. He was secretly doing this. So he was creeping, trying to do something for the good of people who loved each other and they wanted to get married. So he lost his life. Also, in 496 AD, as we go forward with this, we'll see the evolution of that. Pope Gelasius, I always mess that name up, but Pope Gelasius, he established February 14th as Saint Valentine's feast day. So it was at that point kind of evolving into a day where they were sharing time together. Everybody was eating, being merry, probably drinking, probably wine and everything else. Or whatever, but where people were coming together and also appreciating and loving on one another. Then, you guys, when we move to the idea of actually incorporating romantic love, this came about in the Middle Ages in the 1300s, between 1300s and 1400s. So this was viewed now as this Valentine meaning being surrounded by romantic love, but also a time for courtship and pairing. All right. So y'all, let me put y'all up on game real quick, okay? Really, I told you we're gonna be in and out, but the stats about what is this holiday called? Valentine's Day. My mind is spinning because of what I'm about to share with you. But y'all, when I found the stats of the U.S. economic stats for Valentine's Day, check this out. When we talk about how much money is spent on this day alone, in 2024, 26 billion. 2025, 27.5 billion. And Americans are actually expected tomorrow, and some of y'all have probably already I want you to think about this, but it's already slated and expected for people to spend about $29.1 billion tomorrow. 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 And you know what? Some things have already been purchased that are going to be for that day. So you can put that right on in together. And the numbers continue to increase year after year. I wonder why that is. Just all this stuff. And with you all spending all this money, anybody out here who's spending money on Valentine's Day, are you tithing and spending? Are you spending your money at your church home? I'm just kidding with y'all, but are you tithing and are you doing your offering? That's a lot of money, y'all, in the billions for this day. Talk about an economic boost. I could say something else, but I'm just gonna keep it right there. An economic boost on Valentine's Day, all about love, right? Okay. Let me tell y'all something else with roses and cards. Around 190 million Valentine's cards are exchanged yearly. And that's not even counting the school exchanges. In school, and I have a story for y'all. Y'all know in school, you have your children go to school with the hearts and the cards and the suckers and all of that stuff. And then also with roses, there are about 250 million roses purchased globally each year. Global. So that's all around the world. All around the world. 250. That's a lot, y'all. 250 million roses for one day. Now, when we talk about celebration, what do people tend to do? What do you tend to do? You put that in the comments or whatever. What do you tend to do on Valentine's Day? Often people are exchanging cards or messages of any kind, giving flowers, especially the roses, like we just mentioned, y'all, all 250 million of them, chocolates and other confectionery, romantic dinners, or even people who take trips. And now even people have like friendship celebrations such as a Galentine, which Galentine's Day is the day before Valentine's Day, and that's specified for friendships that are for women. So you have the Galentine's Day as well. I think I heard about that a couple of years ago. No, not a couple of years. It was actually a year ago. And one of my friends was like, "I'm going to this Galentine's, get together." And I'm thinking like, "What? Like Galentine?" I was like, "You talking about y'all gonna be drinking like a gallon of water or something?" And she was like, "Galentine, like Valentine." I was like, "Oh, okay." I guess I had a slow moment. But anyway, Galentine's Day is something that's a new thing as well. So after giving you all of that information, I have some questions. I want to have a quick little discussion and I'm gonna get you out. I told you I'm not gonna be long, but my first thing is why do we wait until Valentine's Day to put on this grand display of love? Like I see people breaking their necks, running to the stores, and you see it in the stores, y'all. It's starting to get ridiculous. I know that I have some witnesses out there. When holidays are coming up now, they put stuff out in stores very early. You don't have to wait. I saw Valentine's stuff around Christmas. I'm like, what in the world? Like this, intermingling. Like I thought we were doing Christmas stuff, and you got baskets with bears and all of that stuff in it. I'm like, why is this the day? We want to be so grand and we want to make such grand gestures to the ones that we love and we want to let them know how much we care, how much they mean to us and how much they add to our lives. Why do we wait? Why do we wait to that? As I've taught you guys and talked about back in I think around Thanksgiving, as saying, when we have holidays that come up, I don't know. I think they're amazing. They can be an amazing symbolic day of what we should see happening all the time. I don't have to wait until Thanksgiving to want to cook a large meal and invite people over or go, to someone's house and we all cook and we gather and we just have a good time laughing, sharing, loving with each other. Same thing for Christmas, same thing for Easter, same thing for maybe the 4th of July. Well, you can't pop firecrackers all year round, so don't do that. You might go to jail. But my point is, why is it that we wait to extend love to those that we care deeply about on that day? On that day, it's something for you to think about. Because again, too, I see a lot of outward expression. I see a lot of gifting. I see a lot of, jewelry being given. I see a lot of clothing, purses, anything, gift cards. I mean, we can go down the list. But I think it's amazing too, because even when you're in your day to day with people that you love and that you care about, love is an action and it's something that you can show. Even the Bible says that they will know us by the love that we show. It does not say by the love that we speak. There are people in my life, if they never said they loved me, I would know. I know. And I do have people in my life that don't always say, I love you. Oh, but the action and what they do and how they show up in my life is very evident. If they never said those 3 words, they show it, they display it all the time. My thing is, what are we doing the rest of the year? And also, is your love only because of the gifts you give? And again, you should do that all the time. If you're married or you're dating somebody or any type of relationship, y'all ain't gotta wait till Valentine's Day to go to an upscale restaurant or travel together or give each other gifts, exchange things with each other, or even if you're in a friendship. I mean, your family, anything, even your pets, y'all, as we're learning. But you should be able to want to lavish and show that love all the time because if you love someone, it's not meaning that you have to wait till a day that comes to prove it. Okay. One thing I want to say is also giving yourself love, learn how to give yourself love before you try to extend it to other people. One that I had two, I think it's 2 stories I want to share really quick. I'm gonna be quick, y'all, but 2 stories that taught me that in my personal life. One was something that was kind of voluntary. I did on my own, and one was involuntary. When I was a kid, as I spoke about, the exchanging cards and things in school, I remember being at an elementary school. I went to a lot of different schools, y'all, but you know what? We moved and stuff, and I went to different schools, but it taught me a lot of ways to adapt to different environments and different statuses, different classes of people. It taught me how to be able to talk to and connect with any and everybody because of it. But this specific elementary school, it was Valentine's Day, and y'all remember how you could do the telegrams and things like that, or you can have things sent to people anonymously. And I'm sitting in the classroom and I'm seeing people get stuff. And you bring like stuff in sometime for your class, cupcakes and all this. So, we're doing that. And I'm sitting there and I'm watching through the whole day. I'm watching other people get stuff secretly for these telegrams and things. So there was a big thing at that school. And I'm happy for people. And I'm like, oh, and I'm like looking at some of the popular people and I'm seeing their desk pile high of these telegrams that have like suckers and a card in it and so and it doesn't tell you who it's from. It's just like you know that somebody is appreciative of you and they're thinking of you. And I remember sitting there and I didn't have one at all. I promise y'all, and I'm not over exaggerating. It seemed like everybody had something, at least one from somebody, and I didn't have any. So I was like, you know what? My little feelings was hurt just a little bit, y'all. I ain't gonna lie. My feelings were hurt just a little bit. But I tended to save my allowance that my mother gave me every week. I would save it sometimes, and I maybe buy something extra just in case it was maybe a Friday, it was pizza day or something like that. And I usually would make my lunch and take it to school. I had a lot of money saved up, and I was like, you know what? So when the teacher was like, I said, I remember her name was, I think it was Miss Smith. I said, Miss Smith, can I go to the bathroom, please? And she was like, sure, Joshua, just take the hall pass and da 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 da. I'm like, okay. In my head, I'm like, I'm going to that telegram place. I'm going to that booth because there nobody out there at that time, so I didn't feel like anybody would see me. And I remember going up to the and I was asked. I went up to the woman and I said, can I buy like this many to send to me in my classroom?" And she was like, "Oh," and I was like, "Oh," she made me feel worse at all. And she was like, "Sure." I think I may have gotten like six of the little telegram things. And I remember going back to the class and I sat down and I was just still just a cheese and just looking around. I'm like, oh, I can't wait till they deliver mine. We go to lunch, right? We come back to the classroom and I'm sitting there and I'm just anticipating like and in comes one of the people, one of the workers, and they came in and they were like, J Joshua Lennox? And I was like, oh, right here. I'm right here. Please, right here. You have six telegrams. I was like, for me? And there I was like, ooh. And I was like, oh my God. Y'all, that's probably why I'm a good actor. So I was right then and there. I was on. I was like, I can't. And I was sitting there like, I can't believe this. Somebody did this for me. And I did it for myself. What that was doing, I was trying to, because like I said, it stung. But I think in my mind, I was like, well, go out there and send your own stuff to yourself. Act surprised. Don't nobody have to know. And do that for you. Fast forward, as I'm living in Atlanta again. This is my third time ever living in Atlanta, but my second time, about 2012, when I moved here, I remember I was supposed to go on a date, and I never really had been on a date, like that here. And I went and I'm in the restaurant sitting and I'm waiting. I'm sitting and I'm hoping and I'm wishing and I'm praying. I mean, I was just sitting there for a while and the waitress was like, hi, it's been a little while. Are you sure you don't want to order? I was like, give me 1 minute. I was texting them, calling them, no answer. They were sending me the voicemail. Knowing me and anybody who knows me, I was thinking like, I'm praying. I'm like, Lord, I hope nothing's wrong with them. I hope they're okay. I hope they're safe. Nothing. So I sat there and I said, you know what? Let me get the menu. I got an appetizer, a full course meal, a dessert, and I ate good. I ate so good. And I took myself to the movie after that. I think I went to see Act Like a Lady, Think Like a Man. I went to the movie theater and I laughed. I had a good time. And when I was on my way home, I said, you know what? They did me a favor. And I mean, at no time did they ever call me back, text me back, anything. So I was like, I never heard from them again either. But I was just like, that's something I think I want to start doing anyway, is going out, take myself out to eat, go to the movies and do whatever. I would do certain things sometime, but not like that. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to start doing stuff like this. And if it needs to be maybe every 2 weeks or something like that, I'm going to go treat myself and take myself out on a date. And I kept doing that. And let me tell you, for some of you single people out there, you don't have to wait to go out and do things and have a good time and, spend time with yourself, whether it's eating. You don't look stupid sitting at a table and eating by yourself. You really don't. going to the movies, going bowling. I would do all of that. And I mean, I was doing some of that before, but when it came to, formal stuff like that, I was thinking like, oh, this is gonna be good. I'm like, I'm gonna start incorporating this, taking myself out. Like I'm gonna be dressed up and everything, and I would. Because when someone joins your life, somebody you're dating, somebody you're in a exclusive relationship with, or somebody who you end up marrying, you don't have to. Even when you get into those things, you should still take yourself out and still do things for yourself. And why I say that is because when that person comes along, they just enhance your experience, but you can do it independently. Okay. So in that situation, I immediately took that as a tool. I was like, you know what? Take yourself out, do some stuff like that, pamper yourself. I was doing some things, but not like that. So I was like, okay, I'm glad that they did that. And I had experiences before where people stood me up and didn't show up or whatever. And again, at that point, I was like, you know what? Bet, I'm gonna do this by myself. So wanted to just share those stories with you guys really quick. But also the one thing I want to say is too, what do you do when healthy love shows up for you? Ah, we don't want to talk about that. What if you're a person who has been in relationships before? What if you've had friendships before? You've been married before and you've been divorced and you just feel like sometimes you want to give up on love. And sometimes when we come around on this holiday, people start to think, well, if they're not in a relationship or not with somebody, they feel insignificant. It's like, well, I don't have anybody to go. I go out by yourself until that time comes. But sometimes we want love so much because it's being perpetuated, it's being thrown out there like, oh, everybody needs somebody sometime. That's true. But the people that I'm talking to, you're decisive. You're not desperate. You're not desperate to be with somebody. You're not desperate to have people all in your life and all in your space. You're decisive. But what I want to say is, what do you do when healthy love shows up? Are you really ready for that? Are you really ready for somebody to love you and see you for who you are, who wants to be in your life, just for who you are, not for what they can get from you? Are you ready for somebody who has healthy boundaries and you have boundaries? Are you ready for somebody who is able to articulate and communicate with you without making you feel small or diminishing you or raising their voice at you or being abusive towards you? Are you ready for a healthy love? And I ask this sometimes, a lot of times with my clients, and it's kind of been coming up this week as some of them have been dealing with some things about, oh, Valentine's Day is coming up. I'm like, so what? What does that mean? Well, I just really wish I was with somebody. Why? You don't even like being with yourself. You don't even do good to yourself because you are the person who ultimately is going to be a billboard to people on what love looks like for you, how you want to be treated, what you're willing to tolerate, what you don't want to tolerate. One more story, y'all, and I promise you're out of here. I promise you. Why I'm talking about healthy love is because sometimes we forget love is just not what we give to others, it's also what we give to ourselves. So when I say, what do you do when healthy love shows up? As I keep saying about you being in this orientation of who you're becoming, it's like the more you start to pour into you, the more you have boundaries, you have more respect for yourself, you're affirming yourself, you're doing things that you enjoy doing without thinking about the opinions or perceptions of other people. You're dressing, like you want to dress. You feel good within yourself. You're really taking care of yourself, having great self care, whatever that is, living your life like it's golden, like Jill Scott said. That's healthy love. But when it starts to be consistent for you, are you ready for that to be a consistent thing? Because also when somebody comes into your life, are you ready to receive that? I had one client, I wanted to share this really quick, and I thought about her because she was with me for a long time when I was in Fayetteville, North Carolina. And she was in a relationship, and it was this guy. He is highly known around the world. He's very wealthy, very wealthy, amazing guy, very attractive, has a high status. I mean, homeboy has his own, I think he has two jets and all of that. Very nice guy, very humble, but I mean, major person. And my client literally was like, I don't know why he wants to date me. I don't know why he wants to be with me. And I'm like, why not? Well, she was telling me all the list of what she didn't have. I have debt. I'm still trying to, I just finished getting my master's and I live in an apartment. I have a used car. And she was talking about all this material things because he was wealthy. And how they actually met was through her working I think she was doing like an internship somewhere. And he was a person who came in to speak. And she was helping him with things before he went out to speak on the stage. And they just kind of connected. And he was like, I want to talk to her. But this is a man who can be sitting in a boardroom among people who are, they could be in New York doing a meeting or something like that. And he would, she might call or something. He would step out to talk to her. And she just couldn't understand, like, what is it about me? She's a beautiful woman. And again, she was discounting all the things. I have this, I made this mistake. I don't have this together. I don't have that together. And I was like, do you think he wants you because of what you don't have, or that you because of what you have or something like that? What about if it's who you are? And once he came in, he flew in to sit in a session with her, and I was blown away because I was just like, oh, he's coming. And she was like, he signed the disclosure, and he signed, and I was like, okay, fine. He comes in. I would have not known he was all of who he was because he was very humble, came in, sat down, and we were joking with each other. And she just began to cry, talking about why she felt unworthy. And she's just like, I don't understand why you want to be with me out of all the women you can have all over the world. I mean, people who are of high status, people who are celebrity status, that he could talk to easily. And he was kind of like snickering to himself. At first, I was ready to jump on him because I was like, "You think this is funny?" He was snickering because it's almost like it was funny to him to be like, "What is she talking about?" And she just started to cry, and she was like, I don't have much, and this, that, and the other. And she just started going down the list. And then when she stopped, he comforted her the whole time, and he put his hand on her back. He said, "Can I say something, Mr. Lennox?" I was like, "Yeah." And I'm like, calling me Mr. Lennox. I'm like, "You all right? You got respect." But I was blown away because he immediately looked at her and he said, "Is that why you think I want you?" He said, I don't care nothing about all the people in the world and having, he said, people are always trying to get access to me, but it's not because they want to get to know me. He said, I know this. And she just kind of was sobbing, and my eyes started getting watery because of how he was. It was almost like a soap opera, y'all, but it was real. And he was letting her know, he said, you are somebody who I could take in any room. You're somebody who I could take anywhere. You're accomplished. You're a sweet person, you're kind, you're loving, and you're hard work. He was just going down all the list. You're educated, you're wise. He was just going down all of this stuff. And she was just overlooking stuff. And she really thought about the materialistic stuff. He was like, I don't care nothing about what you got, your used car. He was joking on her, like joking to make it light. And you live in your apartment, you keep it clean, you do well with it. You live well, you go to church, and he's a man of faith. And he's like, you go to church, and he said, you're involved. And he was like, I love all of that. So he said, but I really care about you. And when you met me, you treated me like the human, not the title, not the position, not the success, not the accomplishment, not the dollar signs. And I was just sitting there tight-eyed and trying to, hold myself together. And she just wasn't used to healthy love. She was used to having to prove her love to people. She was used to having to fight to be seen, to be heard, playing herself down, to feel like she belonged in relationships. She also had a great fear. She overcome a great fear of rejection and abandonment and neglect, and also dealing with abuse of all kinds. So she just couldn't understand why she was worthy of somebody because of all who he was. And it's like, and in my head too, I was like, I don't care nothing about who all his stuff he got. He's a person, he's a human, and he has his flaws, he has insecurities as well, and he wants you. It has nothing to do about what you have. So what I'm telling y'all, and y'all, let me say this. She found me years later, a few years later on another platform, and she found me and we were talking. She was with me just to kind of do maintenance once a month, and they're married. She's so happy. A lot of things that she had passions to do, she's doing now. He supported her in ways. And I remember her saying she didn't want to be a charity case to him just because of his money and things like that. And that wasn't the case at all. And I remember him saying this too because he's from New York, so he's a white guy, but I could tell he's been around some black people very much so. But and I think he's what is Italian too. So it's like he's been around. He can go from, he said, I can take you to a ballroom or a gala and you know how to handle yourself. You know how to carry yourself. He said, but we can also go to the slums and go visit some of my family or whatever, and you're fine. You hear some gunshots or something, you're not going to flinch. And that's what I love. You're well rounded. They're happy. I think they have one child now. And she's doing well. And I think she had to realize my worth is not in what I can do, what I produce, it's in who I am. And that's when real love showed up for her. And it was healthy for the first time. It shocked her nervous system. So again, we throw these things around about Valentine's Day and finding being with somebody, and I want to have a relationship. I want this. But what if it shows up in a healthy manner and maybe you're not prepared to receive it yet? Okay. Well, I told you I was going to be quick. I don't want to talk to y'all no more. I just want to get out of here. Yes, I put on this red shirt to be thematic for Valentine's Day. But again, please don't allow one day. I'm not speaking, I'm not for or against Valentine's Day. You want to go out on Valentine's Day and ball out and do it, that's your business. You're grown, or if you're young and you're a teenager or something, you need to live within your means. But if you want to go do those things, that's fine, even if you're going to do that for yourself. But let this be a practice. Let Valentine's Day just be symbolic of what should be a practice all the time, anytime, all the time, anytime. That's all I'm saying. So, and if it's the three things that you take from this too, is just knowing that make sure you love yourself first. Make sure you pour into you. Make sure you love on yourself. Make sure you treat yourself. And you don't have to wait on anybody else to do that. You can do that for yourself. But also love on the people in your life. Love on the people that you admire, you adore. They mean so much to you. They add value to your life. Do that all the time. And it doesn't have to be with a gift. Sometimes it's just telling them. Sometimes it's just being consistent, continue to show up for them, continue to support them, continue to encourage them, continue to just be there. Because sometimes we think we have to do something in order to be valuable. Sometimes just knowing, just be, that's enough. Your presence is enough. So, two things I want to say really quick. You are ultimately the template on how you want to receive love, give love, live love, and be love. You are ultimately the template on how you want to receive love, give love, live love, and be love. And let that, when I say be love, just your presence can be love for somebody, even if you never open your mouth to say it. You know, like back in the baby boomer times or growing up in the years ago, people, or it might be just at any point. Some people don't have parents that say, I love you. They don't have your siblings, your cousins, your friends, maybe not ever say they love you, but they display it, they demonstrate it. They just might be their upbringing. They don't always say, I love you. I have people in my family on both sides that don't really say, I love you. I'm a person who says, I love you a lot. Um, and then, there's some times where we just have to be people who exemplify that and demonstrate that all the time. I'll say I love you to some of my aunts and uncles, my great aunts and uncles, and they might not say it back, but they might sometimes because I will keep saying it until they say it. But that might just be they're the people who like to demonstrate that. So pay attention to that as well. Everybody's not going to speak your love language or and again, please be mindful of learning what love languages people have around you and also your own. Something that's been taught at my church, my pastor has been really preaching on and speaking on last week on love languages and even attachment styles. So that's important to also know so that you know how to connect who you're connected to and what they're needing and also what you're needing too when it comes to being loved. Last thing is, again, you are decisive. You're not desperate. You're not desperate to be in a relationship, a friendship, a petship, I guess now, but you're decisive. Anyone and everyone who comes into your life is going to be blessed. They're going to receive a gift that they can't get from anybody else, and that's you because your rarity is a specialty. So when people come into your life, they come into your sphere. They're being met with love anyway. Make sure you open yourself for that because sometimes we close ourselves off with love because we've been hurt, we've been stabbed in the back. We've been deceived, we've been betrayed, whatever that is, or our love has been taken advantage of just needs to learn who gets access to that. Everybody shouldn't have an all access granted pass to you. Everybody shouldn't be able to receive your heart fully if they've not invested, if they've not gone through a process, a rigorous process to have access to your heart that way. So I love y'all. And again, let me say happy Valentine's Day to y'all tomorrow. But at the same time, let happy Valentine's Day be every day. Okay. I love y'all. I will see you next Friday. What time? At 7 p.m. Central Eastern Standard Time, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 5 p.m. Mountain Time, 4 p.m. Pacific Time. Y'all know what the deal is, international family, because y'all have several, and I'm seeing that it's several different areas now, and I'm still learning. I want to learn. I think that's important because if you're tuning in, I want to be tuned in to or attuned in to where you are and what time you're watching. So, because it means a lot to me. So I love y'all. Please share this. Please comment, please subscribe whatsoever you may be watching from or listening to. But I will see y'all next Friday right here. Love yourself before you love anybody else because you're the relationship we don't want to neglect that with. We need that for you more than ever. And so that's why I always say, y'all, spread love now more than ever because it matters and it starts with you. Talk to y'all next Friday. Love you. Bye.
Thanks for watching The Inspiration Station with Joshua Lenox. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. See you next time.